Hey everybody, today I'll be going over the basic commands of a very powerful application on Mac computers, Terminal. I'll be moving step by step at a mild speed, but it might be beneficial to you to pause this video between each step and make sure you're getting the same results as me. This tutorial is designed for Macintosh users, so if you're using Windows this may be hard to follow. First, hold the command key and press spacebar. This will bring up the Spotlight search. Then type terminal in the search bar. Notice that when terminal opens, the header of the window is your user folder. My user folder is named Nathan Hester, which is displayed by the thin blue arrow on the second picture. Now that we are in terminal, we can execute commands so it can do something for us. In the prompt, which should say your username and a cursor beside it, type the letters LS. This stands for list directory. After you press enter, all of the contents in that particular folder that you are in should be listed directly below the line you entered the command. Another important command is cd, which stands for change directory. A directory is a folder, and by cding, we could switch to folders just like we do when we double click on a folder in Finder. Let's change to our desktop folder. Type in cd space desktop into the prompt, then press enter. Then type ls into the prompt and then press enter to see if you change directories. Let's learn how to rename files in Terminal. Find the file you want to rename using cd and ls. My file is in the folder Terminal Tutorial, and I know that there are a couple folders I have to go through before reaching it. I could cd one directory at a time, but since I know the path to my file, I'll just cd to that path. I'm currently in desktop, so I have to go through NA10 and Terminal Tutorial to get to my file. This is when my pro tip comes in handy below. There will be a lot of times where you'll get tired of typing things word for word. Try typing the first few letters of your file and then press tab. Terminal should finish your file or folder name and add a proper backslash. I'm going to type cd na10/terminal tutorial and then press enter. Directly after I press enter, I'm going to ls to see if I did in fact change directories. And it looks like I did from my picture. Now that I am in the correct folder, I can see the file I want to rename in my last ls. So I'm going to rename it. mv stands for move, but it is also the command for renaming a file. Type mv and then the file you want to rename, then type the new name for that particular file. I'm going to be typing mv rename this file.txt, which is underlined in blue, and then I'm going to type what I want to rename it as, which is new name.txt. After I press enter, rename this file.txt should be new name.txt. So now I'm going to ls to see the contents of the folder, and rename this file.txt is no longer there, rather it's now new name.txt. Let's learn how to move a file. The file I want to move is called movethisfile.txt with a blue arrow pointing to it. I'm going to type mv /movethisfile.txt space /move file to this folder. You can see on the second bullet that I'm pointing to where I typed this command. Now that we've typed the command, let's see if the file has been moved. So type ls in the prompt and notice that the file is not in Terminal Tutorial anymore. Let's see if the file was properly moved to move file to this folder. So let's cd and then type in move file to this folder, or whatever your folder is named. and then type ls, and we will see that the file is now in that folder. Type cd space dot dot to return to the last directory for our next step. Copying files is very similar to moving files, where we have a source and then a destination where we want to copy the file. So type cp, then type the file you want to copy, and then type the directory where you want this copy of your file to go to. There shouldn't be any change to the file itself, but when you look into the folder where you copied it to, there should be another copy of it within that folder. Notice the blue arrow is the line where I type in the command to copy the file. I'm copying copy this.txt to the folder, move file to this folder. After I enter that line, I'm going to change directories to move file to this folder, and then I'm going to type ls to display its contents. Our final command we will learn is how to delete files. This is probably the simplest command to learn, but the most dangerous to use. Once you delete a file on terminal, it can't be brought back. Every instance of this file will be deleted, and you will need to be very careful doing this operation. The command for delete is rm, which stands for remove. If the file is in your current directory, which my file is, type rm and the file you want to remove. Since my file is named delete this file.txt, I'm going to type rm space delete this file.txt and then press enter. When I ls, the file should not be in the folder anymore, and if that is so, we have completed the task successfully. Congratulations, you did it. You learned the most basic commands you can do in Terminal and acquired some very useful skills along with computer science knowledge. I hope this furthers your understanding of the computer and you are able to learn more skills off of the basic skills I provided to you today. If you ran into problems and can't figure out why it isn't working, I've thought of a couple quick solutions to help you get the ball rolling. If you can't find your terminal, be sure to look through your applications folder and other folders than your user folder. Finder is a very good tool and should be able to bring up terminal easily. The biggest problem or issue you are most likely to face is typing case sensitive. Be sure to enter in the right information so that you don't encounter unnecessary problems. And make sure there is only one space in between commands and files, like cd space desktop or cp space copy this file. ls should work every time, and if nothing gets displayed, it is possible that you are in a folder that does not have anything in it, which means you should either delete or put something into this folder. If you're having trouble changing directories or CDing, make sure where you want to go is actually in the folder you're in. Use ls to see where you can go. It's a very useful tool and it will definitely help you throughout this tutorial. If you can't seem to rename a file, make sure you've typed the correct file name after the command mv, and then type the new name directly after. Don't forget to ls the contents to see if the name was changed. When moving files, you must be sure where you want to move the file. You can figure out where the file lives by going through your folders on Finder and taking note of each folder you go through to create your path. Copying and deleting files are pretty self-explanatory after you learn the previous commands. Copying is the same syntax as renaming files, and deleting files requires the command and the file you desire to remove. Well, that's it, guys. I appreciate you listening and I hope you learned something.